Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. The new groovy dance musical Trip of Love is directed and choreographed by James Walkin, and it features some of the most iconic songs of the 1960s. It will open here at Stage 42 on October 18th, and we dropped by to meet the company and bring you a sneak peek.
Call Alice when she was just small. When you met on the chessboard, get up and tell you where to go. And you just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind is moving low. Go
Well, thank you for opening your theater for us today.
Thank you.
How excited are you to bring Trip of Love to New York?
Beyond words. Really beyond words.
Well, take me back to the beginning, how this all came about for you.
I had decided to stop performing, and I wanted to sort of explore choreography, and so I decided to start, since my background is dance, I really wanted to go back to that, to the roots. So I found some music that really inspired me, which was actually by the 60s, and before I knew it, the show was born. So it was all of a sudden I just started working on it, and I had been introduced to the producer who was looking for a new project. So then the two of us sat down and we just started building it. And that's where it went from a workshop right into Japan, where we premiered it.
Yeah.
So
how do you explain the show? What do you call it?
It's a journey through the 60s through song and dance. We were described in Japan as a ballet. Some of us were described as a rock concert. And we were compared to, someone said we were like the 1960s Nutcracker. So it's a great escapism. It's really what it is. It's, you come into the theater, you get encapsulated in the music and the sound, the lights, as you can see from here in the theater. And we just want the audience to have the full experience, to come in, have memories, relive it. And so that's kind of how I describe it. It's just more of a dance piece with incredible music.
You're getting ready to open in New York with Trip of Love. How do you feel?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's been a crazy journey. I actually did the show 7.5 years ago in Japan, and most of us are back. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy to finally bring this to New York and show audiences here what James Walski's been working on and what's in our hearts and ready to give to the world, hopefully.
What's the journey been like for you working on these? These are iconic songs. We all knew where we were, or even later on in our lives, where you heard these songs and the lyrics.
Oh, the lyrics are amazing. It's really interesting because recently we walk around town and all of us have heard the music. And no, I guess normally you don't think about it, but now that we're in the show, I'm like, wait, that's If You Go Away. Wait, they're playing Where the Boys Are in the produce aisle. It's fascinating how this music is still around. And I actually grew up in San Diego in Southern California. So I was a beach kid. And I watched Gidget movies and Annette Funicello movies. Beach Blanket Bingo is like my fave. So when I got that polka dot bathing suit for Wipeout, I was like, I am living my dream. But my mom actually sent me all these pictures of her from the 60s and 70s. And she has long blonde hair with bangs straight across. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am living my mother's life on stage. And she was like, all of that's real. I sang Where the Boys Are. She's like, just like To the Radio to Connie Francis. And now I get to sing it on stage, which that's crazy.
You have an audience in like 2 days. How do you feel?
God, I don't know. It's so exciting. This is my New York City debut. So I I don't know, we're portraying a dream, but I feel like I'm actually physically, humanly in a dream as well. So, yeah, I'm just a lot of emotions
I
happening.
love that because you're from Vegas, right?
Yeah, I spent 11 years in Vegas, actually. Yeah, I actually won the BroadwayWorld featured actress for Vegas' show.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I know, I love you guys.
We love you. So now you're making your New York debut in this incredible show, Trip of Love. How exciting has this been working on this show for you?
It's been really quite amazing. Jimmy Walski's incredible. He comes from a similar background. He knows a lot of the same people that I know, and it's been, you know, like a lot of passion put into this and a long time coming. So I'm glad they're able to realize it finally.
I love as you get to dance and sing in this show and take us through all of the 60s. Tell us what we saw you do today.
You saw me do White Rabbit on top of a mushroom, kind of pulling Caroline into a little bit of a dark world, but it's sexy and freeing and showing her, you know, different aspects of love, like kind of the darker side.
Yeah. First of all, welcome to New York with Trip of Love. How excited are you to be here in New York with this?
Oh, I'm extremely excited. We were so pumped about it when we did in Japan so long ago. So it's like really nice to finally bring something that we created so long ago right back here. So it's exciting.
So what do you love the most about being a part of this show in the 60s music?
Oh, well, I'm kind of a hippie myself in so many different ways. The artist, the free-flowing artist, and it's kind of the same character I'm playing up on stage. So it's been like, so since day one when we started working with Jimmy on this, it's like we've been putting it into my body and everything like that. And it's like, so it's been like this part of a creation that I've been a part of since the very beginning. So it's really exciting to be able to show that here. Yeah.
Talk about the number we saw you do today.
Yeah, Inagata Vida. Yeah, it's kind of like a big shock splash for the audience. You know, it's kind of like suddenly we're entered into this crazy 60s free open love debaucherous mushroom lounge, and it's like everyone's like it's a very sensual number, and it's very kind of like first a little scary. So it's kind of like a little frightening. So it's fun frightening a little bit. Yeah.
Well, welcome to New York with Trip of Love.
you.
How do you feel?
This is so exciting. I mean, it's been such a long time coming, this one. We thought we were going to come straight in when we were in Japan, you know, several years ago. So everyone here, and there's so much of us that have done the show twice, we're just like family and crazy excited. It's like Christmas Day. Yeah.
So when you first got cast in this, I mean, were you a big fan of the 60s?
Yeah, and I tend to do a lot of period 60s. I mean, more than half my career is in the 60s. So I was like, oh yeah, this is right.
So did you love the music? I mean, what's been the best part of this experience for you?
Well, the songs that I knew from the show are songs that, of course, are, you know, huge, enduring, iconic hits. And then I've gotten to learn some new things too, like Up and Away, like kooky, funny, stuff like that. Songs they're fantastic.
Well, this is very exciting for us today. What was it like for you?
It was exciting. First time out of the gate is always a little scary. You know, it's the first time with lights and people watching us. So it was great. I mean, I think everyone's ready. I mean, we have some lighting stuff to tweak and things, but I think everyone's really excited and ready.
Well, this is exciting. I mean, talk about all the psychedelia and the sets and the projections and the beautiful clothes.
Yep, that's what they're going for, the whole experience. They want
The
you
60s.
60s, have a drink, come in, enjoy it. It's just a story through music. So it's beautiful. You get to sit here and just be nostalgic and like live these songs, which are some of the greatest songs ever written. And you just get to be here and experience it. And I just think it's so nostalgic and so wonderful and so needed right now. You know, the fun, the joy, the ease, you know.
Now, you do a lot of the ballads in the show. Tell me what you sing.
I'm like a guide, like a spiritual guide through the show a little bit. I get to sing Both Sides Now. I sing Moon River. I sing Up and Away, the great hit. I sing If You Go Away, Jacques Brel. I sing The Way of Love that Cher recorded. I just get to kind of bring it home and sing some really great ballads.
I think Jimmy's being able to, like you said, polish a few new things and polish what we had and change a few things he wanted to do over there. And Yeah, we're just excited. You know, we're just getting costume pieces coming in now. So the little machine is hard at work.
Were you familiar with all of these songs? I mean, I remember where I was. I mean, my sister had all these 45s and everything else, so I love the songs of the 60s. Were you big into that before you started this?
I mean, back when I grew up, you know, pretty much. I think 60s is one of the best decades that we've had musically. A lot of things came out of the 60s. The style, the clothes, the events, the political uprisings, you know, there's just so much in the 60s that you can, you know, wrap a show around. But having been born in '66, you know, my parents were very young, actually, 17 and 19 when I was born. So they were I kind of grew up with them, you know. So all their music was my music, and these bring back a lot of memories. I mean, most all of them are #1 hits. So we're all familiar with most of them. Both Sides Now, for some reason, just gets me. It just gets me in the heart. You know, we give you this whole like stylized Inagata-Davida. And then when that song starts, it's kind of like, but we're all just really real people, all going through life on different journeys, but somehow it all comes back to square one, you know. It's a beautiful piece. It's a different piece. A lot of dancing, a lot of singing, but no script. And so we're telling a very loose story through the order of the songs in which they occur, and then we're sort of taking you through the 60s as well, you know, from the early 60s, mid-60s to the war, and then out the other side, you know.
What are some of the great dances of the 60s that you do, and what was the easiest dance for you to learn, and what was the hardest?
I think the frug was definitely the hardest dance because it seems like it would be very simple to do, but really it's very specific and tiring. And James, he was like, you guys, I need to see this frug over and over. And one day we just did it all day. So actually the frug is difficult because it's a lot of thigh work, but the Frankenstein, this guy right here, that might be my favorite because I've never ever done that in real life. So that's kind of the funniest little dance that we do in the show. Yeah.
Favorite moment, if you could sum up the best part of the experience so far with working on Trip of Love, what's it been for you?
Drums. The number drums in the beginning of the second act might very well be the very best thing I've ever danced in musical theater. It's so exciting. The music, the lighting, the costumes, the choreography. I'm so excited for the audience to be able to see that moment.